hijackers.
Thank you for watching WTVA, Tupelo, Columbus. Right now on WTVA 9 News Today, Oxford police are looking into a criminal investigation. This after a man reported missing turned up dead in another county.
And the ones that disagree, I don't know. Maybe we ought to get a chain, put them outside. Maybe.
Some members of the Tupelo City Council are against tying dogs outside. This morning, you have to hear why they don't like it and what they want to pass to stop it.
And we are starting off with drier conditions as you're heading out for your Thursday morning, but we do have that severe weather risk as we're heading into your Friday evening. So what is the timing of some of those storms as they start to move in?
They will pay. Oh, they will pay.
We continue to follow a devastating story out of Batesville this morning. 5 people are dead, including some kids. This all happened in a car crash. And this morning, we're hearing how the community feels about it. And we're also following some breaking news overnight. The search for the suspected school shooter out of Denver is over. But investigators say they did not find him alive.
Live, local, late-breaking. This is WTVA 9 News.
Good morning to you. Thank you for starting your day with us on WTVA 9 News. I'm Bronson Woodruff.
And I'm Daniela Oropeza. It is Thursday, March 23rd. It's a warm start. It's nice to see these warmer temperatures, but I feel like they come with some severe weather. What's happening outside right now?
Yeah, we are seeing warmer weather, and with that warmer weather typically comes higher dew point temperatures, which is a little bit more of that moisture that fuel for some of those storms. Today, we're getting the warmer weather with nice conditions, sunny, dry. Tomorrow, that just adds a little bit more fuel to some of those thunderstorms we could see. Up towards parts of Saltillo right now, we're seeing fairly calm conditions on that MDOT traffic camera. Not really much to slow you down as you're heading out right now. We do have a few passing clouds. Most of those clouds buck up towards the north, Boonville, Ripley, over towards Oxford. We continue to see some of those as we're heading out for your morning time. Over towards Oxford, that's where we are seeing some more clouds, but that's not slowing you down for your morning commute. We are seeing a few cars already out there on the roadways. Temperatures in the upper 50s, farther towards south, low 60s for most of us, but into the afternoon.
If you listen to my recorded phone calls, you'll notice my supervisor take me off the regular campaign when I sold the intranet for the first time.
Says there is now a criminal investigation after someone found a man dead. That man had recently been reported missing. Oxford police say this man on your screen, Curtis Vaughn, was found dead in Yalobusha County. Someone last saw him alive Monday night around 11 o'clock. This morning, we are working to reach out to law enforcement in Yalobusha County and with the Oxford Police Department. You should call Oxford Police with any information related to this case.
Happening now 9 months later, and the search continues for a missing Alcorn County man. Family members are calling on you for help this morning.
Told you a story about DHL services. Yeah, I got kicked out of the regular campaign, making big sales, competing with big people. After I sold the intranet and didn't know do it.
Will have more on this story coming up in a live report in our 6 o'clock hour.
But I then went to a campaign where people had way more value for the intranet. I was never taught to sell it, but I was taught to call it.
Someone threatening another person. They say they arrested this man, Kendrick Market, and charged him with commercial burglary and aggravated stalking. A judge has said
I didn't even have the option to select intranet.
Police arrested arrested a man after
for
he
sales.
tried to rob someone.
But I talked to all my customers, so I know they had it.
On March 15th. They arrested this man, Ernest Sears, and charged him with robbery. A judge set his bond at $20,000, but took it back because Sears was already out on a previous felony bond.
Hey, this morning, Mississippi's Highway Patrol went to work overnight, responding to a semi-truck rollover on the Wtva and Prentice County line. Take a look. MHP posted these pictures around 6 o'clock last night. A semi-truck hauling wood chips rolled over on MS4. It blocked both lanes. Troopers and
That's why they're there. They're my customers, even once they're on the white bars, because they didn't get to the white bars by themselves.
Tied outside of their homes. They say it's animal cruelty. WTVA's Ethan Foster spoke to the councilman who introduced this idea.
And the ones that disagree, I don't know. Maybe we ought to get a chain, put them outside. Maybe.
Buddy Palmer says tethering pets reflects badly on the 5-time All-America city, and that it's just a bad way to take care of your animals. Tethering, also referred to as chaining, refers to the use of a rope, chain, or other object.
But if I didn't have those white bars,
Palmer says recent
I wouldn't have been able to take care of myself selling the intranet back to AT&T.
And these animals stayed out there all night.
Palmer will join with council members Janet Gaston and Chad Mims to meet with a legal team and look at other cities that have similar ordinances in place. They'll then draft an ordinance for Tupelo and present it to the rest of the council for a vote.
I think it'll pass unanimously. So I think we'll do well with it.
Well,
So go and shut y'all company down. But I kept on working.
Council managed to get that ordinance passed, then I could be subject to some fines if I did. So my question is, how did the people of Tupelo, specifically dog owners, feel about that possibility?
I don't think they need to be chained. I mean, you can have a fenced yard and they can be outside, but I just don't think that an animal should be chained up. It's, they're pets. But we don't want to discourage a good pet owner if they will take care of their dog. And that is keeping track of them.
I'm for it. I mean, if we have dogs, we're definitely going to treat them appropriately, not leave them outside or in a cage or kenneled for an extended length of time.
You own an animal nowadays, you need to be responsible. Take care. They can't take care of themselves. They can't feed themselves.
I can sell you a toll-free.
Cat, dog, or anything.
I can sell you for a fax machine. I can sell you a toll-free number, but I can't get paid for the internet unless I go work for the competition. But you can walk right in my house and act like I'm too stupid to know what it is.
Police found the body of Austin Lyle near his car around 10 o'clock Central Time last night. It's a 2005 red Volvo. They found it in a remote mountain area about 50 miles southwest of Denver. Lyle was accused of shooting and wounding 2 staff members at East High School Wednesday morning. The shooting happened as Lyle was being searched for weapons as part of a safety plan. The 2 staff members were both administrators. They were taken to an area hospital for treatment. One of them was taken into surgery for treatment of life-threatening injuries. The second person is in serious condition. Happening now, law enforcement is looking into a deadly car crash that left 5 people, including 4 kids, dead. The latest on that investigation is coming up just ahead.
And there's the Mississippi Department of Transportation.
Excuse me. Please don't blame me if you walked on your job, somebody sold you a bunch of bullshit, and then you got on the phone and started working for them. Excuse me if that happened to you.
Is hoping to make our roadways safer with some changes coming to its safety plan.
And as you're heading out for your morning time, right now we're seeing drier conditions, but we have that severe weather potential going into your Friday evening. So what is that threat? What is the impacts? And when do those storms start to move in? Having trouble sleeping? Room to Room has all.
To bring together leaders of organizations that work to make our roadways safer.
Plano city leaders are taking steps to handle a dog situation in the city.
I did not learn that shit from that faggot. Sorry.
After several dogs were recently
I know how to count.
killed, and they started with taking action against the police chief.
And it's the last day for state lawmakers to make a decision on the initiative process, but we still don't know how state senators feel about it.
And while we have that severe weather risk tomorrow night, we are seeing nice, sunny, calm conditions today. But how long is that calm weather actually sticking around?
Are you tired of looking at that worn-out floor? It's time for a fresh new look, and Stouts Carpet and Flooring is the way to go. At Stouts Carpet and Flooring, we have a great selection of luxury vinyl tile and planking to choose from. This product is low cost, versatile, durable, and looks like your favorite hardwood, stone, or tile. We have ideas and options for any size room and budget. Red, wet-proof, waterproof wood. Stouts Carpet and Flooring in New Albany.
Going on now during March and April is our 43rd annual Blue Maroon Sale at Dawson Big Four.
Can they give you these low prices? I could beat any of your deals. They can't make that truck deals. Well, I just did. Check this out. Think this split out? I don't think so. Yeah, but the maroon price is right.
All these great deals going on now at the 43rd annual Blue Maroon Sale at Dawson Big Four.
If you or your loved one use any hair relaxers and suffered injury from any of these and other products, you may have a claim for monetary damages. Call Howard Gunn and Associates, your local Mississippi mass tort lawyer. For a free, no-obligation consultation, call 1-877-516-9549. Time is crucial. Contact Howard Gunn and Associates, your local Mississippi mass tort lawyer today.
Wheel is having a tax season special sale. We carry all the major name brand tires in stock and ready to roll. Need custom accessories and wheels? No problem. Come see our great selection. Get 0% interest financing for 12 months with approved credit and we'll guarantee the lowest prices. We also do alignments, brakes, oil changes, flat repair, and rotations. Every passenger, all-terrain and mud tires. Come to Tupelo Tire and Wheel during our tax season special sale and save big.
Coming on April 14th and 15th is Northeast Mississippi's largest event for homeowners, the Home Garden and Outdoor Expo, brought to you by Wtva and the Home Builders and Remodelers Association of Northeast Mississippi. We want your business to participate, so call today for more information and come join the fun. Business in front of thousands of homeowners who are interested to learn from you and see what you have to offer. For more information, call 842-7620 today.
Helping you plan your day. WTV News Today. Now, your WTVA Severe Weather Authority forecast with meteorologist Chelsea Simmons.
Good morning, everyone. 5:15 on our Thursday morning. You know, we're a week into spring, hardly, but we are, and I feel like we've gotten several seasons already.
We've kind of seen all sides of spring. Sometimes in spring we're a little bit cooler, we're warmer, we're dry, we're sunny, and now we're kind of getting to spring. And we do have that threat for tomorrow, which was upgraded through the overnight. Now for some of us under that level 4, level 3 risk, which I'll get to here in just a moment with the timing of some of those storms. Outside for your morning time, though, today is looking nice. We're going to be seeing a lot of sunshine. A few clouds out there, Oxford up towards Ripley, Boonville, maybe a bit more cloudy for your early morning time. But we'll see those clouds clear as we're heading throughout the rest of the day. In Tupelo right now, still very dark outside, but sunrise is a couple hours away. But if you're heading out, traffic is flowing smoothly. Not really seeing much to slow you down like we had yesterday, a lot of that rainfall. Definitely not seeing any of that this morning. Temperatures for most of us sitting in those lower 60s. These temperatures could drop a couple degrees, but for now, Oxford sitting at 63 degrees. 59, though, down towards the Golden Triangle region, West Point, Columbus, over towards Louisville, sitting at 58 degrees. At your lunchtime, if you're wanting to get out, maybe enjoy lunch on the patio, we're still fairly calm, nothing too breezy today, but those winds will pick up as we're heading into your Friday.
There are thousands of you out there. My white bars are consumers. This is Zori Rush. I no longer work for those bitches. And if you see this video, I actually have something that works like discussed over the phone.
Also for your Saturday. Temperatures into those lower to middle 70s by your midday hours. Top 5 o'clock this afternoon in the low.
She was able to swim from the submerged car to the creek bed and flag down passing drivers. Dakari Turner reports.
Even in a room full of people, there is one sound that stands out amid the silence and grief.
Oh, baby. They were baby. Oh, they were baby.
5 children from one family. The youngest, Jamarian Towns, just 12. His brother Earl, 13. The oldest, 19-year-old Tatiara Webster. Her 14-year-old brother Earl. And Destiny Lidford, 15. All killed Tuesday night when their car slid off Curtis Road and into the creek below just before 10 p.m. outside Batesville. The lone survivor, a 14-year-old girl, swimming from the submerged car to the creek bed and flagging down passing drivers.
The kids, they were so young.
15-year-old Destiny Lidford's mother, gutted.
Every time I close my eyes, I see my baby.
The magnitude of the loss affecting even the county sheriff, clearly overcome with emotion, a 25-year veteran of law enforcement.
Parents' worst nightmare to get a call with that.
And a parent.
You never hope you have to witness something that you never hope you ever have to again.
As those throughout this small community mourn this new painful reality, flapping balloons on a highway sign are all that remain as evidence of what happened, a loss permeating the county so deeply that our photographer reels after learning while on assignment that many victims are family friends.
Dang, I'm about to say Earl, he was like a brother to me. I miss him.
Gosh, that's so hard just for one family. The cause of the crash is under investigation. The sheriff says there is no indication that drugs or alcohol were involved in the crash. We have an update on a story we've been following out of Winona. A local police chief and animal control officer will go the next several days without pay. Investigators say someone shot several stray dogs. Both the chief and the officer were suspended without pay for 10 days by the Board of Aldermen. The stray dogs were not only killed, but thrown into a dumpster next to a dog pound. We talked to a local advocacy group and folks who live in the area. They say they wish a stronger punishment was handed out. Winona's Ward 3 Alderman Sylvia Clark says they'll meet again to further resolve the matter.
This morning, families of fallen law enforcement officers will soon get to take home something extra special in honor of their loved ones. This morning, you have to hear what Bill Governor Reeves recently signed.
Who says you can't go for gold without going broke? Get the brands you want, the prices you want, whenever you want. Or you can always afford to be you to the max.
It's because of TikTok that I had to go out and get a website. I'm at a point now where I'm on my house. Growing up, every time I get out of the shower, I would itch. My first experience with goat milk soap, it kind of was like a light bulb moment. I don't itch when I get out of the shower anymore. TikTok is a fantastic platform for DIY. Soap Talk, you have the community, it sits in the palm of your hand. Put out my first video, I didn't have a website or nothing like that. If you told me 30 years ago that I would own my own business, run my own business, and be expanding into a separate building that I'm paying for myself, I told you lost your mind. It's more than it's about chasing your dreams and hopefully finding the tools that you need to chase your dreams. And don't forget to wash your stink off every day.
Oh, man.
Governor Reeves recently signed a bill that would allow families of fallen law enforcement officers to get the officer's sidearm. You can see some video here from a recent funeral procession for a Tupelo officer who recently died, Captain Moyer. Governor Reeves signed House Bill 281. He says this is one more small thing our state can do to honor the fallen and recognize the sacrifice of the families they leave behind.
Mississippi will soon have tighter restrictions on who can gather
What
someone's
can I do when
absentee
you in
ballot.
Washington?
The governor says the bill will ban
Begging
so-called
people for
ballot
some money.
harvesting, the practice of political operatives
What am I supposed
collecting
to
and
do with that?
handling large numbers of absentee ballots. Governor Tate Reeves says that practice is an open invitation for fraud and abuse. Some folks against the bill, however, say it can hurt nursing home administrators or employees who help their residents get absentee ballots. The new law takes effect July 1st.
Today's the last day for senators to figure out what they want to do when it comes to bringing back the initiative process. Mississippi Senate leaders are not saying whether or not they support it. The new process would allow voters to put proposed state laws on the ballot, but anything dealing with abortion would not be allowed. Senators could accept a House proposal to create a new process. They could seek final negotiations, or they could let the issue die. Today is the deadline for them to make a final decision. Mississippi Supreme Court 21 ruled that the state's previous initiative process would have been in place since the 1990s was outdated and in. That's because the state went from having 5 congressional districts to 4.
This isn't the first time he's spent time in prison for drug crimes, but this time he won't be getting out anytime soon. Now, police say this is a warning for folks out there selling drugs.
Happy now, plans underway to build a new boutique hotel in downtown Tupelo. This morning, after how businesses feel about this new addition.
And as you're heading out right now in Starkville, we are going to continue to track out nice, calm, dry conditions. If you are planning on heading out, doing any traveling across the area, what is
The Oxford Police Department says there is a criminal investigation after someone found a missing Oxford man dead in Yalobusha County.
Happening now, the Tupelo City Council is looking at adding an ordinance that would prevent residents from chaining their dogs outside.
And right now, a family is grieving after 5 people, including 4 kids, drowned in Panola County.
The Winona police chief and an animal control officer are going the next several days without pay. This comes after investigators say someone shot several stray dogs.
This is WTVA 9 News.
At 5:30 this morning, showing you a live look from Columbus. This is the intersection of Blue.
Charges out of Oxford this morning after police say he was making threats to a business he used to work at. Police went to Hathorne Road on August 16th of last year. After an investigation, they arrested this man, Darius Buford, and charged him with terroristic threats. A judge has set his bond at $25,000. The Senatobia Police Department helped with this case.
There's an update on a Mississippi State University professor who's now on paid administrative leave. Police arrested Dr. Gary Packwood, who you see on your screen. He's the university's director of choral activities. Mississippi State spokesman Sid Salter says a routine review by the school's internal audit office turned up something suspicious concerning the professor. The arrest report revealed Packwood was giving his spouse thousands of dollars in scholarship money he was not eligible. It says for 4 years, the spouse received $39,000, even though he was not a full-time student and was not a music major.
Happening now, we're told a New Albany man will spend the rest of his life in prison. This comes after a jury convicted him for selling narcotics as a habitual offender. Chief Chris Robertson says this isn't Billy Weeder's first time running in with the law. Robertson says that Weeder has been convicted in the drug charges and even served time. A jury convicted Weeder of selling drugs, meth, and fentanyl. Circuit Judge Kelly Luther sentenced Weeder to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The chief has a stern warning for people trying to move drugs into the city.
If you get caught, we're going to go for the maximum every time. So this is a place we try to keep crime, we try to keep our citizens safe, and we're.
The chief hopes that Weeder's case will lesson for other people.
New this morning, Alabama lawmakers advanced a bill that would restrict good behavior incentives for some prisoners to get early release. The Senate Judiciary Committee approved of this bill on Wednesday.
Hey, Cake, I was actually in your jail and I saw what you referred to as the gin pop.
The legislation slashes the opportunity for inmates to have good time and can get out. It also says inmates who commit certain offenses in prison would forfeit all time and could not earn any more. Some lawmakers argue, though, the legislation is an overcorrection that would make prison crowding worse.
You gotta keep jail, but it's an American jail.
Measure now moves to the full Alabama Senate and could be voted on as soon as Thursday.
Happening today as we get ready for severe weather headed our way. Parts of the United States.
Renovation plans have been spreading throughout downtown Tupelo, and business owners say they're excited to see the area grow.
When into a community and trying to bring better quality of life and interesting things, it encourages more people to come downtown and be a part of this.
People say that a new boutique hotel will be successful as people across the country and beyond travel to Tupelo, and it could attract new customers to their stores.
I think it'll be a great new place for people to stay and then to also join these businesses and, visit some of these places for lunch and these little boutique stores as well that are here.
While official plans for the building won't be released until April, Tupelo business owners are sharing the same excitement and sentiment.
Tupelo is where it's happening.
And I agree with him. That was WTVA's Garner Montgomery report.
You walk into a room with four grown women that have children. One of them is dead. 3 of them were dead before you get there. And the cops, who are typically all male, maybe a woman sprinkled in now and again, are all afraid to investigate. Somebody's a whore. Somebody's a whore.
The people were.
And somebody is giving a big ass discount to police officers right now in this room.
We leave next week to head to Disney.
And as you're heading outside in Oxford right now, we are going to continue to see a lot more of those clear skies for some. You're still seeing a few cloudier conditions, but are those clouds sticking around all day long?
Want your clothes to smell freshly washed all day without heavy?
So why didn't I consider calling the police? I knew a murderer was in the room.
Fumes? Try Downy Light In-Wash Freshness Boosters. It has long-lasting light scent, no heavy perfumes, and no dyes. Finally, a light scent that lasts all day. Downy Light.
Are heading out, just make sure you have multiple ways to get those alerts. Also possible for your Friday evening, overnight Saturday. But go
down near Montebello, California on Wednesday morning. That's near Los Angeles. Several industrial buildings were damaged with parts of their roofs torn off. Look at all that debris in the air on your screen. Tornadoes in Southern California.
But somebody needed to prove that the police knew what happened when they got there.
Are rare and this is just the fourth in Los Angeles County since 2007.
Happening out here in Mississippi, the pollen count is starting to go up, even with this rain and cooler weather. Pollen.com released a report showing North Mississippi with medium levels of pollen and high levels down in South Mississippi. Right now, trees and grass are the big pollen producers, with tree pollen expected to increase over the weekend. Local clinics are already seeing an uptick in sinus and respiratory issues.
University is warning you about the danger of chronic wasting disease in the nation's deer population. Mississippi State, along with the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks, released a series of videos to make understanding the disease easier for you. Chronic wasting disease is contagious and incurable, and it can affect deer of all ages. So far, it's spread to 30 states and Canada. It was discovered in Mississippi back in 2018. It continues spreading across the northern half of our state. To see those videos, you can go to Wtva.com for that link.
Looking ahead, Keep Tupelo Beautiful is gearing up for some spring cleaning happening this weekend. Around 700 volunteers are expected Saturday morning to help with the Time for Tupelo spring cleaning event. Volunteers will meet in Fair Park and head out to different areas to help with various beautification projects. They say they'll start at 9:30 and finish at 11:30.
We're really trying to put a clean face forward in our community and really so everyone knows that we are not a dirty city. And everyone needs some spring cleaning, and so do.
Shut up, Biker.
Free t-shirts available, tools, trash bags, and gloves will all be provided.
Looking ahead, folks in Okolona can soon step out and help clean up their city this weekend. The city of Okolona will host a cleanup day Saturday, March 25th. It will happen starting at 9 o'clock that morning and continuing until about 11 at the Okolona Mini Park. Organizers will serve refreshments. New this morning, a new law in California will help prevent fentanyl overdose deaths. Now people are hoping to get this law passed in other states.
Guys, Jerry Esprig with Mattress Gallery. Major brands, factory direct pricing. And remember, buy your furniture from the furniture store, but buy your
Inexplicably, his drug test came back clean.
I asked the doctor 3 times. The doctor's like, no, our tox screen would show it. We test for opioids and it would show fentanyl.
The next night, Tyler took another pill laced with fentanyl and died. Shockingly for Tyler's family, regulated drug tests in emergency rooms are only required to check for what's known as the Federal 5: marijuana, cocaine, amphetamines, opioids, and PCP. Fentanyl will not show up. Many labs are unaware.
Do you think it's irresponsible that hospitals across the country don't automatically test for fentanyl?
Extremely. I think because parents, you trust doctors, you trust hospitals. And if they're telling you that your kid's tox screen came up clean, most parents aren't going to think to even question the doctor.
Julie found purpose advocating for legislation in California to require a 6th test be added specifically for fentanyl. Called Tyler's Law, it took effect this year.
California is the first and only state that requires fentanyl testing be added in ERs, something advocates hopes expands nationally at the low cost of just 75 cents per test.
Dr. Ronit Lev partnered with Julie on pushing the legislation through.
It is simple. Every hospital in America could do it tomorrow if they wanted to.
Josh Symes is one of the tens of thousands of Americans who died from a drug overdose, a majority of them suspected to involve fentanyl, according to the CDC.
It turns out the hospital had not for fentanyl.
His partner, Melanie Yates, testified on behalf of passing legislation in Maryland to mirror California's law.
We're undoubtedly going to have more overdose deaths because we're not testing for this. How are we going to make an impact if we're essentially blinding ourselves to what's actually going on?
How often do you see patients that test positive for fentanyl that didn't know that's what they took?
I see that all the time, every single day.
More than 50 million fentanyl pills masquerading as regulated medication like Xanax or oxycodone were seized by the DEA in 2022. This kind of testing is essential for unaware patients.
When I tell them that they're positive for fentanyl, I could see their eyes light up. Now they may want to change or do something differently.
My son could still be alive today had the doctor known. Not even had they tested for fentanyl, just had he known, because then we could have gone and taken him somewhere else for testing.
An easy, low-cost test that could save lives and pull back the curtain on the scope of this national epidemic.
The time is 5:56, showing you to see what it's like to have an interview and make them more confident. Saltillo high school career coach Donna McCuller lined up several guest employers for students. She says these professionals help guide students in areas where improvement is needed. That is excellent.
Ridex month will prevent a backup because Ridex is scientifically proven to break down septic waste. Guaranteed.
Get you together with Ridex. Telling your story, WCBI Sunrise. Now.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining us here on Sunrise on this Thursday. I'm Eric Crosswhite. It's dry out there this morning, and you probably don't even need a jacket. Let's start the hour off with Chief Meteorologist Isaac Williams. Isaac,
coming up here in just a few minutes.
And that he's even considered holding a news conference at the courthouse if he's indicted. House Republicans have bashed the Manhattan investigation as political. They're now expanding their own probe into it. Republican senators are also weighing in.
I do think that there are questions that are being asked by a lot of our members and other people all across the country about prioritization of this DA, of this issue.
Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg and his office have repeatedly said they will not be intimidated. In another Trump-related probe, a federal appeals court has ruled one of Trump's lawyers, Evan Corcoran, must testify and share evidence about the handling of classified materials at Mar-a-Lago.
And CBS News, Trump's lawyer could testify in that Washington, D.C. case as soon as tomorrow. Among the evidence, he's expected to share documents and private audio files that could shed some light on what Trump said before and after the FBI searched Mar-a-Lago last year. An update this morning on a situation upsetting people in Winona. The Board of Aldermen voted to suspend Police Chief Rashawn Daniels and new Animal Control Officer Vidal Anderson. This is because he shot and killed several dogs in the city pound. Mayor Aaron Dees wrote on social media Anderson was ordered to shoot the dogs by Chief Daniels. Strays in Winona are supposed to be held for 10 days before being euthanized. The pens were full, and the 4 animals shot to death were held for more than 10 days. Some people we spoke with believe taking the strays to a vet would be more humane. However, others say stray dogs are a common problem in the city. The suspension is temporary. In our continuing coverage of House Bill 1020, the proposal going through the Mississippi legislature is getting national attention. Lawmakers are still trying out the final version, but Courtney Ann Jackson reports those making up the committee are raising eyebrows.
Look at your screen. These are the 6 men tasked with trying to find compromise on the controversial House Bill 1020. 5 Republicans, 1 Democrat. But for a bill that's included concerns about racial motivations.
It worries me that the conference committee members are with all white middle class.
I wish, of course, there were more black lawmakers and Hinds County lawmakers on the committee.
Representative Earl Banks is also the only Jackson resident among the group. Walter Michelle lives in Ridgeland, but
Represent about 20,000 people in Northeast Jackson, and my family real estate business has been located in Jackson since 1927.
Still, the optics are something Senator John Horn says are consistent with the concerns he's had from day one with the legislation.
The Jackson delegation is not for this bill. We have very little participation in the crafting of the bill. It affects a large amount of our constituents in a negative way, and we want the bill to go away. If it doesn't go away, we'll have to try to find a way to live with it.
Fellow delegation member Earl Banks was a no vote on 1020 when it passed the House, but he seems to be hopeful they'll find a solution that will help the capital city.
my concern of 1020 and my concern as a legislator is to do what's best for the city I represent, I live in, I grew up in, and to protect the citizens of Jackson. The citizens of Jackson still to this day, that they're not afraid of the Capitol Police. They're afraid of the thugs that are in the streets of Jackson. And right now, Jackson does not seem to have the manpower to do it.
I'm hearing a lot from people who want safety. They don't feel safe at their homes at night. The court system's another issue, but I really think most people, if they said they had to have a priority, it would be public safety.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
The city of Columbus is creating a government take-home vehicle policy. Only police and firefighters are allowed to take city vehicles home under federal. If any other employees decide to, their use of the car outside of work will be taxable by the IRS. Columbus Mayor Keith Gaskin says this is an issue for a few city employees.
There's some concern from our guys in public works. We have two people that take them home there because they are on call, and they are not from federal code. They are not considered emergency responders.
And the mayor says he's contacted leaders in other cities to work towards a solution. Mayor Gaskin's teaming up with Mother Goose and others to combat the city's litter problem. The Pick It Up Possum Town Committee are launching the Don't Be a Litter Critter campaign. The mayor says this seems to be more of an issue for younger residents, so he and Mother Goose will visit elementary schools in the upcoming months to talk to kids.
I'm sorry. Why can't she have her earthly desire? Somebody killed her niece. She wants the cops to come in and actually do their fucking job and get paid for it. She don't want to go to prison because she go home and do what the fuck she do at her high. Why she can't get her earthly desire? All you crackers get what you want.
About harms of littering. The mayor believes they'll encourage their parents to take on more responsibility.
I don't think it's a lot to ask for you to walk in a room and figure out what happened when a 2-year-old got blood splattered all over the room.
Throughout the year, Buy Alabama's Best is raising awareness of the state's food products, sales, and charities. Food manufacturers in Alabama purchase a large amount of raw farm products. Wednesday was Buy Alabama's Best Day.
On the lawn to, like I said,
fucking inspire people.
Now, right now, there are 18 high school wrestling teams in Mississippi. Give me the tough ones.
Yeah.
Apologize.
Yeah. Fred.
Elizabeth, I've always been crazy. Waylon Jennings. That's the
That one, old school there.
Mhm.
Janine, I will survive with Gloria Gaynor.
Yeah, that song will definitely get stuck in your head.
Yes.
Too. Raven, just fine.
Look, it's nighttime. It's after 10 p.m. here, but even with the low light, you can see later in the side of these two 9-story apartment buildings where Ukrainian authorities say a Russian rocket slammed into it at around 11 o'clock this morning. You can just see the devastation here. And to understand a little bit better what happened, we have a survivor, Kirilla Chorny. Welcome. He's a 20-year-old university student. Thank you for coming to speak with us. And you were home in your apartment building when this happened, right? What did you hear? What did you think?
Well, I heard an explosion and I saw a fire actually. And well, as you can see, a rocket landed somewhere here, but the explosion made and the fire still got there.
I mean, you were 10, 15 meters away from a missile strike.
Well, yeah, and actually in my parents' room,
your dad was right there.
Yeah, my dad was right there, and actually he was near window, but he was like a little bit to his desk, and he survived. And if he was a little bit right, he would be dead.
So how are you feeling tonight? Are you going to stay here in your home tonight?
Yeah, of course I will say it's my home. It's my homeland. I have nowhere to go. The mayor gave us a hotel or something like this, so we can basically move there. But I don't want to leave my home and my house.
I saw inside your apartment, all the windows are blown out. You're just less than a stone's throw away from where a deadly rocket hit the side of your own building. Will you be able to sleep tonight? Are your parents, what emotional state are they in right now? Are you guys afraid? Are you angry? How are you feeling?
We are mostly angry. We are not afraid. Why would we be afraid? It's our home. And Russia is invading us, not we invade Russia. I will sleep at my bed. My parents will sleep at their beds. It will be a little bit cold because we don't have windows, but still we are not doing anything.
All right, Kirilla, thank you very much for sharing that with me. Zaporizhia is about a half hour's drive from the front lines. This is not the first time that Russian missiles and rockets have hit apartment buildings in this town. Other people were killed earlier this month by a similar strike. And it just leaves you with this question. What possible military strategic reason would there be for firing a long-range deadly projectile with this kind of explosive strength at residential buildings? That's a question that I'm left with, unless they were aiming in some other direction and the aim was terribly wrong. And this is a pattern that Ukrainians have been dealing with in different cities and towns across this country for months.
Later on Sunrise, missing for 4 weeks. The reward being offered 30-year-old Kenneth Reed from Wcbi County.
Feel free to file it after all
It's
this severe
just
weather moves out.
heavy action. I know sometimes you like a little bit more substance and
Yeah.
thinking about twists and turns.
Sure.
It was less of that, but a whole lot of action.
But well, I say, what was the group with Ryan Gosling and the other guy? That was a lot of action, but there also was some twists and turns.
Yeah, if you like that, you like the John Wick
Oh,
movies,
well then maybe
without
I'll
a
give
doubt.
it a whirl.
There you go, one Isaac over. Hey, don't forget about our Sunrise question we've got posted over on our Facebook page. We're asking, what would be the theme song of your life?
We have gotten all kinds of answers this morning, going on some new ones. Kathy, Gratitude by Brandon Lake.
All right. Ben, Alabama, roll on.
Alicia, Like a Dream. Chrisette, Michelle.
Scott says, I'm No Angel by Greg Allman.
All right. Brad says Fleetwood Mac, Don't Stop.
And Carrie's 16 ton.
On ABC.
Was making news in America.
ABC, WTV,